Hi guys, this is Jim from The Grey Curtain, and today I'm really proud of this sound that my drummer Sean Doddelin and I have coaxed out of this Alesis Ion. So a little bit about what's going on here. We have two different sets of outputs in the back of the Ion. One of them is the main outputs, and those are controlled by this little volume knob here. The second one is the auxiliary output. What's great about the aux is you can control its set volume sort of like inside the software, which means that it's constantly putting out sort of whatever volume you set it to. So what's great about that is I send that to over here, this line 6 Pod XT distortion speaker emulator guitar box, basically. And because it's always getting a constant signal, I can mix that in with the volume knob there. So we can have just the Ion, or just the line 6, or a blend of the two, and we could get this really beefy sound. Now, on the Ion, you can put on 4 different voices all at once. And what I've done is I've edited this. It's called Warpenheim. It's a preset, but I've tweaked it out a bit. And what I've done, let me turn the distortion off so you can hear, is that I've put the same voice in 2 different octaves. So right now, only one part is enabled, and you hear it doesn't play up here. But the second part doesn't play down here. And you hear those are the same octave. So what's great is that you get to do what guitar players do when they chug. They do up and down strokes. You can sort of play like this. Same note. You get this really choppy thing. So then I use this other voice, which I've also edited. It's called Screaming Warp Lead. And what's great is that is multi-octave, so that plays across the entire board. And there's a very short portamento, which gives it sort of a sense of movement when you play those 2 notes. So when you put it all on, you get that sort of feeling of it's the same note, but it sounds a little different, and that's because of one of the 3 voices is actually changing octaves when you do that. Now, what's brilliant is then we add on this distortion, and we just get this massive sound. You're going to be able to hear it a little bit better in a minute. So the part we play goes like this. Have the mod wheel sweeping the filter, and you get that nice like a wah sound. Now the real killer we're gonna pause the video and show you in a minute is what we're running this through. Okay, so those signals are going into our DAW to be recorded, but before they do, they're going into some really great equipment. So the clean signal is going through the Avalon, which is this just beautiful tube. It's nice and warm, and it's got this great EQ with lots of options. So you can really dial in your signal and decide what you want to boost, what you want to cut, and really color that signal really well. So we've dialed it in for some real aggression. The distorted signal is going through this universal audio preamp, and the UA is sort of if the Avalon is about finesse, the UA is about brute force, and it gets this sort of gritty, oversaturated sound that just sounds massive. And then that is going through the compressor side of things too, with pretty much the all-in setting here. So just massive amount of compression, which gives me that really punchy feel, just sort of maximum volume, maximum impact. and the clean signal is going through the distressor, and that's also set to all in, I think. Yeah, so it's set to this British mode, which is, again, just sort of significant compression, really giving it that punch. And I think the result is shockingly heavy. So I hope you enjoy it. So both of those compressors are set to the British or all-in mode. Basically the same terminology, but one's in Britain and one's in the United States. And it's based on the 1176. It's a really famous compressor. And it was used back in the 70s. And now remember, they didn't have a lot of dials or things that we have now. A lot of these units operated on switches. And when you threw in the switches, that would activate different pieces of circuitry, and those pieces of circuitry would do different things. So on a compressor, they would each compress at different rates. Well, somebody figured out that if you pressed all of the different rates in at the same time, you got this just insane sound. The equipment wasn't designed to work that way, but it wasn't not designed to work that way. And so you got this sort of crazy, over-compressed, but like really musical sound. And so I hope that comes through in the playing, which you'll hear in a minute.